All right, good afternoon. I'd like to call on Commissioner Frank Went to lead us in invocation, please.
I'd like to read from the Bible, Psalm verse 100. Shout with joy before the Lord, O earth. Obey him gladly. Come before him, singing with joy. Try to realize what this means. The Lord is God. He made us. We are his people, the sheep of his pasture. Go through his open gates with great thanksgiving. Enter his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and bless his name. For the Lord is always good. He is always loving and kind, and his faithfulness goes on to each succeeding generation. In your name we pray, O Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody. Glad to have you here. I'd like to, at this time, call this regular meeting of the Harlingen City Commission, which has been duly posted, to order. And at this time, we'll go to citizen communication.
Mayor, we have Mr. Jesus Mendoza, 2202 East 28th Street from Mission, Texas. And he wants to speak on electoral sensitivity disability, and he wants to be called.
Mailbox is not currently accepting messages because
Mayor. The next one is Raymond Reyes, 706 Nantucket Drive, accountability, and I believe he's in the audience.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, Mayor. My name's Raymond Reyes, 706 Nantucket Drive. Excuse me. Basically, I just think that Harlingen's changing some of the things for a positive nature. I think change is good. Sometimes some individuals are set to their ways and don't like that change. But I think the key factor in everything, whether it's going to be for a city, municipality, or a corporate entity, or any type of business, is accountability. As long as there's oversight and there's checks and balances in place, everything will pan out. It's when we lose that train of thought that the wild, wild west comes in, is what I refer to it. But I think that if we keep moving forward and stay in a positive light, we can meet our goals as a city and make the citizens happy. It's always a work in progress. It's never going to be resolved overnight. It's going to take some time, but change is a good thing. If not, we'd still be driving around in 57 Chevys, which might not actually be a bad thing. But that's basically all I wanted to make a statement about, is, let's hopefully keep working together and bring the positive things that Harlingen does have to offer to light. And that's all I have. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Reyes.
The next one is Ron Lozano, 2410 Riverside Drive. I don't know if he could.
I'm gonna defer to the item now, Your Honor.
Okay, that's fine. Item next.
Next is Desi, 1806 Haverford Boulevard.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Hi. I'm not going to make it a regular thing coming over here so often, but I noticed that the newspaper wrote about the golf course, which is a beautiful park we have out there and facilities. And I just wanted to bring to you, and I left a copy there. I don't know of any business that loses money, and it has, we know that, but that doesn't diversify when it has a redo. And one of the things that we don't have is a younger generation and families, and working with the hotels particularly. You have the biggest hotel system in the Rio Grande, in a cluster of a beautiful commercial area, in our Spaghetti Bowl area, if I may. And working with them to bring them opportunities to work with your hotels and your golf course. And I give you an idea of a mini golf course, mini course that we used to have that back in the 50s and 60s. It was private, but this is an opportunity. When I saw the word design, who's designing that, and do you have new elements to, when you're doing this remake? I know you're spending $1.9 million on drainage, according to the paper. We irrigate with canal water. It's the infrastructure. I hope you assessed it. Those pipes just need to be cleaned to the good pumps, and you can have a darn good irrigation system, maybe laterals, etc. But you do need to diversify your business, public business. And one, get free tickets to the hotels, because they pay a lot of sales tax to you. And you can, through the sales tax, in part, and through the 4B, your improvements program, fund something like this to bring the new young generation to the golf course, plus other things. Thank you very much. Like I said, I try not to come too often.
Then we have Mr. Bill Eston, 2925 Elworth Lane, and I believe he's here.
Amanda, I was going to defer to item 8 or 12.
You can, we'll call on you on
Okay.
the item 8.
Okay, Mayor.
Okay.
So, Gary Fleury,
And likewise, I'd like to.
Okay.
and then Joe Ray Wagner. I also would like to.
All right, we'll call on you at that item.
Okay.
And then I think there's a Mr. Gomez out here that would like to speak on an item.
Yes, sir. My name is David Gomez. I live on 2806 West Gomez Road.
Could you pull the mic up a little
What?
Could you pull the mic up to your
Okay.
mouth so that the people
Okay.
who might be watching
Did
this
you get my
can hear-
address?
can hear us?
2806 West Gomez Road and District 5. And I'm here to let you know that we need some sewers to be installed there, or any way you can get us some kind of sewer system for Tucker Road and Gomez Road and places like that. And they're way overdue. I mean, we've been living there for 35 years and we don't have anything. And when you annexed us, back in 1985, we asked about that, and you said that you'd give them to us as soon as you could, and we have not yet had any city utilities except for the water meter. And the water pipe was already there from Military Water Supply. All you did was give us the water meters when we built the new houses. So we would like to have some sewers installed whenever you can do that. And I know you're talking about Adriana Circle or something like that close by, but you can get ours, and all those new subdivisions that have been going in there have sewers and everything. The street behind me, Schofner Street, has sewers in there, and Tucker Road has sewers on there. So, we would like to have some sewers too. And our drainage is getting bad because of all those subdivisions coming in there, and we don't have that good a drainage as we had before. So we'd like to see what you guys can do about it. I had 2 meetings with the water department last week about sewers and stuff like that, and they said they were going to check into it and stuff like that. Mr. Tim Shornagan or something like that.
All right,
Yeah.
Mr. Gomez, thank you. You have your time is up, but if you want to wrap it up, go ahead. And
That's it,
we
sir.
can't. So because it's not on the agenda, we can't discuss it. But
Right.
I will ask the city manager to reach out to you if
Yes,
you
sir.
leave your phone, if you leave your name and phone number with one of the staff.
Okay, sir.
We'll have one of our staff members reach out to you. Okay.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you, sir.
Thank you, Mr.
Appreciate
Gomez.
it.
All right. Next item is item 1, presentations and award recognitions. And the first one that we have on the list is a recognition for the Harlingen High School Hawks tennis team. And because there's somebody who might be employed over there at Harlingen High School South on the City Commission, he wanted to make this presentation. So Commissioner Renee Pettis is going to make this presentation. So Commissioner, please. If you're on the Harlingen High School South Hawks tennis team, come on up here. Kind of stand in front of that sign over there.
Okay, can we play doubles? Like, this is my partner. I got you all day long, but I can't wear shorts. Team 80s.
Commissioner, if I could ask who the best player is to raise her hand? Oh, okay.
Well, I asked the mayor if he would allow me to go and present this for you, because as some of you know, I do work there on the Cincinnati Research. By the way, your homework's due. But other than that, the reason I wanted to present this is because not only do I work there, but I also graduated there, and one of my sons graduated from there too, so the orange and green runs deep with me. So the mayor was gracious enough to allow me to do this, and I just wanted to say on behalf of the city and the mayor, the city commission, we're extremely proud of what you guys did this year. I mean, it was outstanding what you guys did, and Coach, they have to have leader, you know, thank you. And what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna read this real quick, and then you guys will take a picture. So this is a recognition award. The city of Harlingen congratulates the Harlingen South Hawks tennis team, the 2020-2021 team tennis district champions, boys district champions, girls district champions, team tennis by district champions, and the regular season record with 127. And the people on the team: Diego Garcia, Santiago Jaimes, Leo Garcia, Nick Guerrera, Ivan Ledma, Javier Cerate, Dylan Manning, Victoria Garza, Clarissa Rubio, Tabitha Torres, Mary Charvet, Ali Ledesma, Cameron Resendez, McLean Wittenbach, Ryan McMinn, Jacob Hanks, Danny Pell, Jordan Phipps, Ray Canales, Ali Rosignol, Michelle McFarland, Emma Moreno, Maddie Lopez, Frida Jimenez, Michaela Vela, Ethan Carter, Josh McDaniel, Vicente Rodriguez, Alfonso Maldonado, Moses Serna, Gabriel Gutierrez, Caitlin Morales, Abby Aguirre, Jalen Sanchez, Tegan Wade, and Maya Hernandez for their good sportsmanship, spirit of dedication, and outstanding accomplishments, and to head coach Ernesto Escamilla Jr. for your determination to succeed and confidence in the Harlingen South Hawk tennis team that brought them to a triumphant winning season. Presented on this third day of November 2021, signed Chris Bosman. So again, that's congratulations. No, I'm not. History teacher. And if you, can we take a picture? Because most of these guys are Cardinals, and they want. That would be great. Yeah, seriously. You guys want to take a picture?
Well, since you put it that way.
Jeez. You're mean.
And then y'all can squeeze it a little bit more.
You guys at South have done a whole lot better than Texas Longhorns. Glad to have somebody to root for.
All right, here we go. At 3, 2, 1. Again. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
All right, so we have another presentation, which is to the Harlingen High School Southhawks cross-country team. They're bringing them up?
Okay, I don't do cross country. Tennis all day long.
You don't do any country.
I'm not a runner.
Over here, girls.
So if you're on the cross-country team, come on up here and stand over here by the City of Harlingen sign.
We used to run together.
You let the girls by themselves?
I can see all of them.
What do you want? You get this.
Well, I'm not going to be able to get that one.
I got this?
No, you won't. Right there, right there.
Well, first off, ladies, thank you for coming. Like I was telling the tennis team, not only do I work there at South, but I also went to South, and my son went to South. And so the orange agreement is really, really deep in me. And I just want to say on behalf of the city, the mayor, and the city commission, we're extremely proud of what you ladies have done. And I'm going to real quick, and so that's why we're going to award you this recognition award for your amazing accomplishments. I'm going to read it real quick. The City of Harlingen congratulates the Harlingen South Hawks varsity cross-country team 2021 District 32 6A champions, Victoria Scarberry, Annalie Cano, Damaris Solis, Luz Jimenez, Ariana Rodriguez, Alexis Fonseca, and Aliyah Fonseca for their good sportsmanship, spirit of dedication, and outstanding accomplishments. And to the coaches, Ralph De La Rosa, Julian Lopez, Omar Pedrosa, and Melissa De La Rosa, for their determination to succeed and confidence in the Harlingen South Hawk varsity cross-country team that brought them to a triumphant winning season. Presented on this third day of November 2021, signed Mayor Chris Boswell. So, congratulations. I don't know. Do you want to?
3, 2, 1. Again. 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
We get a picture with them too?
Yeah, they're Cardinals. They wanted to see how this is hot.
Okay, you win one game.
Hey, I'm a voter. I just see your name on the list. Every time. Oh, none of them are seniors. There are two juniors, 3 sophomores, and 2 freshmen. So we got 3 freshmen.
There. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Sorry, can you step just tight and right
Y'all can get close to me, it's okay.
There we go in 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Thank you,
Next item on the agenda is a presentation by the Rio Grande Valley Hispanic Genealogical Society of the City of Harlingen.
Mayor, is somebody going to say anything?
I can.
Okay.
Go ahead and use the microphone.
Yes.
Okay, you want to hang on to that for me? Thank you, Ruben. Okay, my name is Mary Torres, and I'm president of the Rio Grande Valley Hispanic Genealogical Society. And today we want to honor Gabriel Gonzalez, our city manager. In 2017, our society had the opportunity to acquire a very valuable genealogy collection, and we didn't have anywhere to house it. So some of us came and spoke to Gabe, and he made arrangements with the museum to house the collection. Unfortunately, the deal fell through, but we found a new home. We've been meeting there since January of 2018, and we appreciate all the amenities, the facility, the staff, and we want to show our appreciation to Gabriel. October 14th through 16th, we had a Hispanic genealogy conference on South Padre, and at our banquet, we recognized 3 people who are our biggest supporters, and Gabe was one of them. Unfortunately, he was not able to be with us, but Gabe, if you'll go over where Ophelia is.
I thought you were representing the city of Harlingen, not to myself.
Well, you're part of the city. Okay. One, we wanted to give you a conference bag and material that we used. And then we wanted to give you a plaque in appreciation of all the help that you've given us. You've allowed us to grow. The museum has been fantastic. We used it as a staging area for the conference. We met there almost weekly for 6 months, and we organized our material there. So again, thank you very, very much.
Thank you. One more picture.
Let's stand out of the way here. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, if everybody, Gabe, if you want to stay up there too, if everybody would just stay where you are, and we're going to return the favor and go to this next item, which is a presentation of a proclamation proclaiming the month of November 2021 as Rio Grande Valley Hispanic Genealogical Society Day. And so, first off, we want to recognize all of you that are here now. Not everybody on your board is here, but Mary, of course, is here, the president, Ophelia Olson, the vice president, Annie Barrera, the treasurer, Mary Esther Dean, secretary, and board members, Bertie Lucio Caballero, Ruben Jaime Caballero, Alquilin, Laura Duval, Irene Baez Silva, Dominga Quintanilla Anguiano, and Tony Garza. And so we want to present this proclamation to you. And I think it's worth reading because I think it's important. Whereas the Rio Grande Valley Hispanic Genealogical Society started when a small group of people wanted to get together to compare and share genealogical information. In 2008, this group became a part of the Tip of Texas Genealogical Society of Harlingen and specialized in Hispanic research. And in 2010, the group incorporated and evolved into an independent society whose members are enthusiastically sharing and researching their family histories. Whereas the Rio Grande Valley Hispanic Genealogical Society is a nonprofit organization interested in promoting genealogy, preserving and protecting all genealogical records, acquiring resources for the genealogical community, and specializes in Hispanic research, and offers help to all who are interested in researching for ancestors. Whereas the Rio Grande Valley Hispanic Society also hosts monthly educational programs, conducts beginning genealogy classes, sponsors seminars and conferences, promotes and provides speakers to community groups and individuals who do not have to be of Hispanic origin to receive the Society's services. And whereas the Rio Grande Valley Hispanic Genealogical Society has completed the following projects: transcribed the Harlingen City Cemetery, conducted cemetery tours, purchased genealogical books for the Harlingen Public Library, indexed Cameron County and Northern Mexico records, published several books, including one of family stories, an award winner, Our Heroes, Hispanic Veterans of the Rio Grande Valley, and an annual journal. And whereas the Rio Grande Valley Hispanic Society encourages Hispanics to participate and get involved in community organizations and projects, and hosted the 41st Annual Texas State Historic Genealogical and Historical Conference, October 14th through the 16th, 2021, Miss the only bad part, in South Padre Island. That's okay. That's okay. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Chris Boswell, Mayor of the City of Harlingen, and on behalf of the City Commission, hereby proclaim November is Rio Grande Valley Hispanic Genealogical Society Month. Congratulations. Mary is, we don't have an official historian, but if we did, she's got some competition, but she's definitely, with Norm out there, but she really is the official historian of the city of Harlingen. She's the face of it. You all probably all do all the work, but she has been such a great leader to this effort, and so many of the things that we read off on there, just fantastic things that you all have done for our city, and we're so glad to recognize you. So congratulations, and thank you for all that you do in preserving the history of South Texas. You really do. So thank you so much. You want to say anything?
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you all.
You did a wonderful job.
Okay, that concludes our presentation, so we'll go on to item 2, which is the approval of the minutes, the special city commission meeting of September 7th, 2021. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
Motion.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item 3A through L, the consent agenda. Is there a motion to adopt the consent?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item 4 is a presentation made by Texas Southmost College regarding the possibility of opening a satellite office in the city of Harlingen. Anybody from Texas Southmost here?
I think George Machan was supposed to be here also, but I don't see him. I didn't see him downstairs, so.
Okay, well, if they want to, we'll come back to them if they arrive, if a representative arrives. So go to item 5, consideration of possible action in regards to the lease agreement between the Harlingen Convention and Visitors Bureau and the Harlingen Area Chamber of Commerce. Cassandra.
Good evening. This is a continuation of the lease we currently have with the Harlingen Area Chamber of Commerce. We have 3 offices there. We have access to the meeting rooms, and we have a receptionist as well. So the lease has an option for 1 year or 3 years, whichever you choose.
Well, I think it has a 1-year lease with 2 1-year options. So it'll be a 3-year contract with renewals for the next 2 years. Staff is recommending approval.
And do we have any changes, or it's just the same?
It's the same, yes, sir, exactly the same.
Excuse me, what's the square footage of the offices that we're leasing out?
Oh, that I don't have, and it's not in the lease. The reason they didn't put it in the lease is because sometimes we've asked for changes to offices, and so they put us in a bigger one or smaller one. So, but we're in the same 3 that we've had for the past 3 years, I believe. I can get you that information, Commissioner, but it's.
I make a motion for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Cassandra. Item 6 is consideration of possible action to approve an ordinance on first reading, amending ordinance number 2018-1, Exhibit A, Chapter 18, Master Fee Schedule of the Harlingen Code of Ordinances establishing new rental rates for parade entry fees for the Christmas parade.
Mayor, this year, the city is going to be hosting the Christmas parade, and so we're going to be charging $30 for an entry fee, only for for-profits. Schools or nonprofits get to be in the parade for free. So we're going to change the ordinance to allow us to collect the $30. Staff recommends approval.
Okay. Can we have the city attorney read the caption?
Yes. Consider, number 6, right?
Yes.
Consideration and possible action to approve an ordinance on first reading amending ordinance number 2018-1, Exhibit A, Chapter 18, Master Fee Schedule of the Harlingen Code of Ordinances establishing new rental rates for parade entry fees for the Christmas parade.
Your motion to adopt the ordinance?
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item 7, consideration of possible action to extend the COVID-19 vaccine incentive program to November 30th, 2021. Josh?
Good day, Mayor, Commissioners. We're requesting that you allow us to continue offering the incentive card for vaccines, first-time vaccine citizens. Out of the $100,000 that was allocated in September the 1st, we've only used
8,400.
15,668.
15,000.
We still have 84,332 available. As we begin the next, as you heard already, we're going to start with the kids' vaccines starting this Friday. So we want to open that as well for the to offer for the kids.
Question?
Yes,
Where are we at with? I don't watch the news very often, but what I have seen is kind of confusing. Of like, is this a booster? Is this the booster, or is it just straight the original vaccine? And what are we using? Are we using the Moderna? Are we using the Pfizer? What are we using? Is that the reason there's a dip, or just people are starting getting vaccinated?
No, I'm sorry. This is the incentive card we provide for first-time vaccine people. First time, they get Pfizer, Moderna, or Johnson & Johnson.
Okay, so
The incentive is for the first round.
For the first round. So it's not for the. We're not doing anything for the booster yet.
Correct. We're not offering to the second or boosters.
Are we planning on doing something for the boosters? No. And is that a benefit? Is it proven to be a benefit for the people to get the boosters? Because I know that I got the vaccination right for the first 2 rounds, and I'm really struggling. Do I get the booster or not? Is it because there's conflicting reports whether it's good or not, or depending on what we had, or has there been any clarification with that? And again, are we going to plan on using some of these funds to? Because if we're not going to use it on the primary, we're going to use it to at least the people that did get vaccinated to get a booster.
Right now, Commissioner, it's just for the first dose. We're not doing any cards for the second dose or the booster.
Yes. So my question is again.
Yep.
Are we considering that, and when would we consider that so we don't waste the funds, or at least again to try to keep people?
No, these are general funds that we're using, so we're not going to lose them. But I think the benefit will just to try to get them into the door for the first dose, and then with that they'd come back for the second and booster. So we're not at this point. We're not planning on offering it to the second or boosters.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the extension?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Item 8, discussion and action to remove the city manager of the City of Harlingen appointment to the South Texas Emergency Care Foundation Board and appoint a replacement to the STECF Board of Directors.
Yes, sir. I asked for this item because I felt that since Gabe served on the Board of Directors of the Foundation, and now he's our city manager, we probably need to have him step down and make an appointment, right? A different appointment, right? Is that correct? Just that item?
Yeah, that's what that is.
So did you have somebody else in mind, or what were we going to do?
Well, I mean, and I know Mr. Brunton wants to serve on it, so.
Okay.
And I can make that motion.
Okay, I make a motion to appoint Commissioner Puente to the STECF board.
I'll second.
Mayor, we have Mr. Ron Lozano that wanted to speak on item number 8.
All right.
Well, actually, I think there's another item 12, so that's fine. I don't need to leave.
Okay, you do not wish to speak on this item?
Not on this item.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I have discussion. So this strikes me as extortion. It's like, Gabe, you got to do what we say or we'll fire you too, just like we did to the other three parties that you all fired earlier. A city manager should be on the board in order to provide intelligence and guidance from the city and to the city.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? I mean, to the extent, I would just make the observation that to the extent that any of, there are items that come before the board or the commission, that involve the interest, potentially adverse interest between the city and STEC, that there would be an inherent conflict of interest, even with Gabe and or anybody from the city under the current environment. I think that just needs to be recognized, and at the times where there may be a conflict, that party would have to recuse themselves from either participating in city commission meetings or participating in STEC board meetings. But having said that, is there any other discussion?
Yeah, I have a question for our legal team there. Sure. So would this be a conflict of interest of a city commissioner serving on?
He would not be disqualified as a matter of law from serving. If there was an issue that came before the board that posed a conflict, he would follow the same rules for recusal as any commissioner would in the same situation.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Opposed.
All right. The motion carries. Item 9, consideration of possible action to approve a professional service agreement with Jeffrey D. Bloom, Limited, for services for the Tony Butler Golf Course renovation design and project management, and authorize the city manager to execute the agreement.
Good evening, Mayor, City Commission. We're asking approval for the architectural or the professional service agreement with Jeffrey D. Bloom. The contract, the draft of the contract is attached with the scope of work. The amount that we're recommending is $217,500 to cover his costs.
He had initially submitted a bid of $265,000, no, $275. $285. But Javier and I called him, and we were able to negotiate him down to $217. So.
Well, and is this the one that we?
That's the one you picked?
We picked.
Yes.
That we picked.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It is. Yes.
Motion for approval.
Second.
All right. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, like sign. The motion carries. Thank you.
Mayor, I have Mr. Desi Martinez on this item.
He already
spoke?
Yeah, he already. I thought he spoke too. Item 10, board appointments.
I have none, sir.
I have one, Delia Cavazos Gomez to the Animal Shelter Advisory Board.
Okay. He said he didn't have one. Do you have any?
Oh, yes, I do. Manuela Echevarria, Downtown Improvement Board, to replace Robert Rodriguez.
Okay. Mr. Pettit?
No.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the board appointments?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. The motion carries. All right. Item 11 is executive closed sessions regarding the following items pursuant to Section 551.072 to deliberate the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property, and Section 551.087 to discuss or deliberate regarding commercial or financial information that the City of Harlingen has received from a business prospect that the governmental body seeks to have, locate, stay, or expand in or near the city, and with which the city is conducting economic development negotiations related to A, Project MTB, B, Project Jack, C, El Clavo Lumber, D, J. Gonzalez Law Firm, And then E, consultation with legal counsel pursuant to Texas Government Code, Section 551.0712, for the purpose of receiving information protected by the attorney-client privilege communication and the attorney product privilege in regard to President City Ambulance Service contract. And F, consultation with legal counsel pursuant to the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
Motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into executive session to meet with our attorneys. And when we're done, there are 3 items that there could be possible action on, items 12, 13, and 14. So thank you for your patience. Okay, we're out of executive session at 6:32, and I'm going to go to item 12, which is deliberation and possible action to provide notice of non-renewal of a present ambulance service contract and intent to engage in negotiations for an amended ambulance service contract. I know we have people that have signed up to speak on this item, but I'm going to let the city manager make his recommendation, staff's recommendation on this item first, and then see what prior to a vote, I will call on anyone who's signed up to speak on this item. Okay?
Mayor, the city attorney's recommendation on this is that the city commission direct the city manager to give notice to STECF that the city commission does not intend on renewing the contract, the present contract, at the end of its contract term in September of 2022, and to invite STECF to engage in discussions about a future contract where the mutual interests of both parties can be served.
All right. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve. Now we have some folks that had signed up, I think, that wanted to speak. Bill Aston.
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. Hope you guys are doing well. We're prepared to listen and consider anything that might be helpful. So we look forward to communicating with you. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And then we have Jerry Fleurier.
I think I defer. Thank you.
Okay, and Joe Wagner.
Thank you.
I would just like to say one thing. When we were all tucked down in our little homes worrying about getting COVID, these guys were out fighting it every day, knowing they were going to get it, they were going to take it home to their families. I think it's sort of a disgrace that this commission has never said, thank you for taking care of our community. Thank you, boys, for putting your life and your family's life on the line every day. Where other cities are suffering loss of EMTs, we have a full staff. They're professional, they take care of this city, and I appreciate them all. My family, who has had to call them at times, appreciates them all. Mr. Pettis, you said once, why invite others in? I ask you the same question. Why invite others in? We will ultimately have to do what you decide we have to do, but we will continue to do what we've always done. Take care of the citizens of this community to the very best of our ability. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And then Lozano.
Thank you, Mayor.
We're not able to attend every meeting, but I do think that this commission as a whole has, in fact, thanked STECF. And I certainly commend Mr. Aston, and even though I'm critical of him tonight, as I alerted him that...
Please address the commission.
I am. I was just, he has been a stalwart independent, as you all know. But by a neighbor of mine, he's been reduced to silence in salient matters, almost like a eunuch. And that is unbecoming of a fine individual not engaged in litigation. And I had titled this Kings because our Texas Constitution starts with the Bill of Rights. Section 26 states, monopolies are contrary to the genius of a free government and shall never be allowed. Can you imagine the word never in the Constitution? And it's a Texas Bill of Rights. So they're dictating what a couple of, well, at least one lawyer in the room doesn't want to abide by Texas law. And like this perception that the fine Ms. Wagner and I have a difference about what Harlingen might and should be. That's perception. But if y'all can't start working together, some of the warnings that have been laid, a scorched earth is folly for all of us. We need to work together. I think Ms. Fleurier can attest we've had reasonable discussions today and tonight, and I hope reason can prevail. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, I believe that's all the citizen communication we have on this item. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion?
Yes. I just wanted to address what Ms. Wagner said. I've seen it in the newspaper and I've seen it in comments where people try to make it seem like myself or the other city commissioners, we don't appreciate what the first responders do. We do. I myself have had numerous conversations with Mr. Aston. I visited when I first became a city commissioner. I went to STECF. Most of Ms. Wagner was there, Ms. Fleurier was there, Mr. Aston was there. I listened because I wanted to learn a little bit more what you guys did. You guys were gracious enough to give me a tour of the building, and I was impressed with the professionalism and everything that you guys did. So when we look into something like what the commission is trying to do, has nothing to do with that we think that you lack the professionalism or anything like that. It's more that as part of the city commission, our responsibility is to basically make sure that the citizens of Harlingen are getting everything that they can. During COVID, you guys have been excellent. And I'll be the first one to say, and I know I probably speak for everyone, that you guys are awesome. You guys have done an excellent job when emergency services, and you guys, I mean, each and every single one of you, as soon as you get in that ambulance, you guys are heroes. Okay, you put yourself on the line. Like Ms. Wagner said, you guys probably were, if not one of the first ones to get COVID, because you guys were putting your selves on the line. But what we're doing has nothing to do with that. What we're doing is basically, I've received some comments and some information from some of my constituents, and I'm sure most of us have as well, not about the emergency care service. This is not about emergency care. This is about the transport services, where we feel that you need some help a little bit. And I know when we've had these discussions before, a couple weeks ago, we were hoping to have an open discussion where we were going to have all the parties involved sit down and just actually have a discussion of, what needed to be done. But unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. It was just basically like an hour and a half presentation of STEC when most of us already knew about that information. We wanted just an honest-to-God conversation on how we could address the problems that our constituents have been reaching out to us for. So when we do this is nothing about disparaging any type of first responders or anything, and that's how I'm always seeing it portrayed, that we're disparaging any type of first responders. We're not. This has to do with transport services and how we need to address that situation. I was hoping that somehow there would be some meaningful dialogue and maybe some negotiations or something like that, but it hasn't really happened. So by taking this step, I think we're all hoping to just basically continue with STEC, but at the same time, give an opportunity for the citizens of Harlingen to have a choice. okay, to have a choice. And I understand the aspect of the bottom line and all that, and how it might affect your financials. And that's why I'm hoping that you guys will be able to come with us and negotiate with Gabe and come up to some type of middle ground. There has to be a middle ground where we can come to, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, you're destroying STECF, because that's not what we're doing. We love what you guys have done for emergency care services. We're talking about the transport care services, and that's what we want to help you guys with, and that's all what we're trying to do. And I just basically got to say that because I just want to get that off my chest, because I keep hearing that accusations of us disparaging you guys, and that can't be the farthest from the truth. You guys are all heroes in my book, and this is just something that we're trying to improve.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. There are two of us up here who are veterans. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, there are two of us up here who are veterans. And Rini, how important is the VA to you?
Very.
Okay. I don't speak for the VA. I speak of the VA. I have inside information. Our last meeting, a letter was given to us from the head of the VA, and Commissioner Uribe said, oh, that VA guy, like he was a pissant. He's not a pissant, and neither is the VA. The VA spends about $150 million a year in Harlingen. The VA has leased Venture X. Venture X? Yeah, Venture X. They've leased the top floor. They're bringing in 300 new jobs, paying $50,000 a year, with the goal to get it quickly up to 500. So we're talking $15–20 million in new money. Who gets those jobs? The new jobs are people who are in the VA system as they're consolidating multiple states into Harlingen, Texas. The second people who get the dibs are veterans, and the third people who get the dibs on these jobs are civilians who have never served. The VA, in that letter of our last meeting, stated they had 2,600 and some calls and responses by the ambulance service, by STECF, and that their service is perfect. The service is rapid response, and that is critical for the VA having offices and buildings in Harlingen. And if you tinker with that, those 300 to 500 jobs are gone, and the VA is leaving Harlingen. Go ahead. Oh, okay.
Again, Mike, this happens all the time.
Really, I'm sorry. Let me
finish. You always go for worst case scenario. The VA is not going to leave Harlingen, Texas. It's not going, and then you're trying to kind of insinuate that we're against the VA or anything. We're not doing that. The VA has nothing really to do with this. I honestly don't know why you're really bringing it up.
Because the VA, in that letter that you all dismissed,
I did not dismiss anything.
One at a time.
Their accreditation from the Joint Commission, one of the criteria is rapid response from ambulance. And the VA is the largest user of ambulance calls in Harlingen. If you all tinker with their contract any and you hurt STECF any, they're gone. The buildings that they have, they're all leased. Now, last week, Mr. Morales and I were with ribbon cutting for the Neurological Institute of UTRGV. UTRGV having a ribbon cutting next week for the college, early college, high school. UTRGV owns the building in which the VA clinic is in. All their buildings are leased, and they're already looking, when this passes, you guys pass this, they're looking to leave. That means there's less people moving here, less airplane flights in and out to Dallas and Washington, D.C. There's less hotel rooms when people from the VA system come to Harlingen. It means there's less restaurant usage, and the doctors and the physicians and the hospitals and the clinics who get referred to by the VA, all that's going to go away too. The reason the VA, one of the reasons the VA started in Harlingen about 15 years ago was because of the quality of the ambulance service, because that is one of the criteria in which the VA gets rated on. And you affect that rating, it's bueno bye, they're leaving. And so make your decision wisely. There will be, they will move, the VA will move headquarters and staff. And I guess you guys don't know the poem Ozymandias by Keats in the late 1800s. But you could put Ozymandias plaque on the empty parking garage. And it says, I am Ozymandias, king of kings. Look about me at my works and thou despair. And so I'm going to read from Cicero. Cicero is a little over 2,000 years ago. A city can survive its fools and even the ambitious, but it cannot survive treason from within. An enemy at the gates is less formidable, for he is known and carries his banner openly. But the traitor moves amongst those within the gate freely, his sly whispers, rustling through all the alleys, heard in the very halls of government itself. And that is what we have had, and that is what we are having tonight. And so I'm going to ask you all, if you want the VA to be here, and if you wish to have VA care here in Harlingen, take no action. If you want the veterans of Harlingen and Cameron County to rise against you, just keep doing what you're doing. The veterans are a strong organization, and they like their Harlingen care.
Okay, may I speak?
All right, go ahead.
Thank you. Since you brought it up, and again, my position is that we need to have the right people talking to STEC, and I thought the right person is our city manager, and that's what we're trying to do, is to create very important dialogue at the right venue at the right time. But what I'm disappointed is the contract, okay? You want to talk about contracts, you always talk about contracts. I am sick and tired of the contracts that you know what, we're doing the right thing. The contract, okay, so I'm going to give you just a few. Do you know, Mike, that if I transported my son who has a broken arm to the hospital, I'm in violation of the contract and I can be arrested for it under the current contract with STEC? That is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so there's certain things in that contract I don't like. We've been quartered into this thing where it's almost dependent, and it's been 40 years. There's nothing wrong with looking at it and doing what's best by the city. And I kept talking about doing a needs assessment, checking what does Harlingen need right now. We still don't have that answered. Okay, we terminated our city manager out of the contract. That cost us over $400,000+ to get out of that contract. Okay, that's ridiculous. That was a contract. I want a contract. I want to get the best contract for the city of Harlingen. That's what I want to do. That's our job, is to making sure that the contracts that we have are in place. The municipal court monthly has been paying over $50,000 in legal fees the last year alone, just the municipal court. That's ridiculous, and that's under a contract that we terminated. So I want to do the right thing by the city, and I want to get value for our citizens, and I want to put that money to better use. Okay, that's all it's about. So they are a professional organization, and I look forward to sitting down with them and having the right people talk to them in the right venue, without saying that we're against, doing the right thing for Harlingen. That's all we're trying to do, is the right thing for Harlingen. Okay. And I think this was a very important step. It's the right thing to do. So we don't do this every time we come up here. Let the city manager do his job and go to STEC and let them work it out. And then present a contract that's fair for the city and fair to the organization. It's very simple.
All right, we have a motion and a second, which is
I still had some stuff I want to say. I just wanted to say, Mike, that this is what's wrong. This is why people get frustrated, because you're trying to bring all this divisiveness. I mean, you're coming over here saying that the VA is going to leave, UTRGV is going to leave, all the restaurants are going to leave, that basically we're just going to be by ourselves now. Everybody knows that's unrealistic. So why do you even bring it up? I mean, let me finish, please. I'll let you finish. So I'm just like frustrated because this kind of dialogue is what prevents us from actually just coming together, the city and STECF sitting together and just negotiating something that's fair for everyone. Because I agree with what Richard said. I've only been here, this is my 6th month as a city commissioner, and I have yet to see a contract that is in the best interest of the city of Harlingen. And I've seen a lot of contracts so far in these 6 months, and I've yet to see one that's in the best interest of Harlingen, and that's frustrating. And it's honestly, you're entitled to your opinions and everything, by all means, yes. But it's kind of frustrating when I sit here and I hear you say things that we both know is not realistic. And the VA did not come here because of the ambulance service. They came here because the Valley has a proud tradition of serving our country, and we have thousands of veterans who were basically unserviced, and that is why the VA is here, and that is why they will continue to stay here, because we continue to have thousands of veterans that need the services. That's why they're going to stay here. It has nothing to do with STECF.
Mayor, I'd like to ask Amanda to please look up the minutes of the last meeting, and please tell me where I was dismissive of the VA gentleman who presented. I'd like to see the minutes, and correct me if I've been wrong, but I don't remember that, okay? So I want to make sure that I'm correct in what I remember of that meeting. Okay, so you can please report back to me on that, or report back to the commission.
So let me ask Mr.
All
Green.
right, gentlemen, let's look. We have a motion and a second.
Yes,
and I think we're kind of beyond talking about what the action item is. The action item is to determine whether or not to give notice of non-renewal and also to give notice of renegotiation. Yes. That's what the recommendation was. That's what the action is. It does not terminate the contract with STECF tonight. It just says that at the end of the term, it'll terminate unless we come up with a new agreement. Mr. Aston has said he looks forward to doing that. Let's either limit the discussion to that, or just go ahead and vote on it and move on down the road. All right?
We have
Is there any other discussion?
No.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed?
I'm going to abstain, Mayor.
All right.
Just for the record, I'm going to abstain on this. I'm abstaining on the vote, just because of the...
You're abstaining. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3. All right, in favor and 1 opposed and 1 abstention. Okay, thank you. Item 13, discussion and possible action regarding items discussed in executive session regarding currently pending litigation. The recommendation is to take no action on this item.
That's correct.
Unless hearing otherwise, we can go on to item 14, consideration and possible action on items 11A through D, as discussed in executive session, projects MTB, Project Jack, El Clavo Lumber, and J. Gonzalez Law Firm. Is there a motion to approve those as presented?
Motion.
Second.
A motion is second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're adjourned for the evening. Good night.